Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi has met with Rosatom Director General Alexei Likhachev in Al-Alamein. The meeting, attended by key Russian and Egyptian officials, focused on advancing the El-Dabaa nuclear power plant project. Discussions covered the signing of a supplementary intergovernmental agreement and related contracts for the plant's construction, design, procurement, and physical protection systems, underscoring continued cooperation on this civilian nuclear energy initiative. The Kremlin says it needs time to clarify what weapons the U.S. is supplying Ukraine after Trump announced new arms support. President Trump has said the U.S. would send more defensive weapons to help Ukraine repel Russian advances. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov noted conflicting statements on U.S. arms supplies, but acknowledged continued European deliveries. Russia currently controls nearly a fifth of Ukraine's territory, including Crimea, all of Luhansk, large parts of other eastern and southern regions as fighting intensifies. Russia says its forces struck Ukrainian military recruitment centers and took control of 2 settlements in the past 24 hours. Russia's defense ministry reported targeting Ukrainian drone assembly sites, ammo depots, and fuel storage, while also claiming to have downed over 400 drones and 7 aerial bombs. Meanwhile, Ukraine said it hit an oil refinery in Russia's Krasnodar territory with drones. The ministry added that Russian forces advanced in Dnipropetrovsk and Sumy regions as fighting intensified along multiple fronts. President Trump says the U.S. will send more defensive weapons to Ukraine as it faces heavy Russian attacks. Speaking at the White House, President Trump said Ukraine is being hit very hard by Russia and needs stronger defenses. He emphasized that the additional military aid would focus on defensive systems. The announcement comes amid escalating Russian strikes and continued frontline advances as the U.S. reiterates support for Ukraine's right to defend itself. French President Emmanuel Macron arrived in Britain Tuesday for a state visit aimed at strengthening ties, the first by a European leader since Brexit. Macron and his wife Brigitte were welcomed by Prince William and Princess Kate at a Royal Air Force base near London. The visit, heavy on ceremony and symbolism, marks a new chapter in UK-European relations under Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Talks will address economic and defense cooperation and efforts to stop people smuggling. The visit comes as the U.S. reduces its traditional security role in Europe, pushing allies to deepen regional partnerships. Gaza's health authorities say the death toll has climbed to more than 57,500 since the war began October 2023, with over 136,800 injured. Since Israel resumed its military operations on March 18th, following a brief ceasefire, nearly 7,000 Palestinians have been killed and over 25,000 injured. In the past 24 hours alone, hospitals received at least 105 bodies and 356 injured as strikes continued across the enclave. Pro-Palestinian demonstrators rallied outside the White House, urging an end to the Gaza war as Trump met Netanyahu. Protesters called for a ceasefire and criticized U.S. support for Israel, with some saying taxpayer money should not fund the conflict. The demonstration coincided with President Trump's meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu to discuss a possible Gaza ceasefire and detainees release deal.